Men aren't the problem. Women's lack of accountability is, and that's why men are checking out of dating and nobody wants to say it. Women love to complain about men, how men don't want to commit, don't want to date, don't want to put in effort, don't want to do this and that, but rarely do women stop to ask what role they play in the problem. And trust me, girl, I used to be the same way until I realized what was really going on. The truth is, men are tired of being told they're never enough. They're tired of being called toxic for being masculine, tired of being shamed for wanting to lead, and tired of being treated like they're disposable. Why would a man want to date when he's constantly told he's the problem? When every mistake is weaponized against him and every effort is met with criticism or indifference. Add in the fact that so many women are competing with men instead of complimenting them, and it's no wonder men are choosing peace over partnership. Men want to feel respected, needed, and appreciated. When they don't get that, they check out, and honestly, I can't blame them. If you want a man who actually wants to show up for you, maybe start by showing him some respect. Otherwise, don't be surprised when he chooses himself over a relationship.
Also, with a 60% plus divorce rate, initiated by women 90% of the time, the US legal system destroys men and takes their kids. Getting married or having kids for men is literally irresponsible. Women are only dealing with the leftovers. 85% of single men aren't dating or looking.
Baby, I have a question while we're driving in traffic here. If your man is checking out other women, does that mean that he is unhappy or unfulfilled?
If men are checking out women directly in front of their person, their wife, their spouse, it's a red flag by all means. It's because he's simply not feeling the love or nurturing energy from the woman that he is with. And that doesn't mean you're not providing that to him. He's not either recognizing it or he looks at you as a placeholder. So you're not the person he wants it from, so he's always looking for it in a different way.
Can I interrupt and interject? Our followers are going to love that I just interrupted you. But I also want to add a caveat to the girlies that oftentimes you could be pouring your feminine love into a man and he won't receive it because you are his main woman and she knows you and she knows your heart and she's expecting more of you. She's still loving you and she's still pouring into you, but she's also asking you to rise, and you as a man want to live in delusion and not rise. So you will not accept her love, you will reject it, and you will seek out that feminine energy from a woman who doesn't know you, because then you can get divine feminine energy and not have to work for it.
You heard that one.
Am I wrong?
I love when my wife gets on her soapbox and goes for it. But in relationship to men,
I'll hold this for you, honey. You need to drive.
In
Keep your eye on the
relationship to
road.
men, being in their delusion, she is absolutely correct. A man is in his delusion and is not willing to recognize and see what type of woman that he has in his life will be nonchalant in situations, and he's going to seek positive energy somewhere else. So as a man, I need energy. I need feminine energy in my life. I've recognized that. So it's an absolute red flag in a relationship if a man is covertly or overtly doing it. Right? I'd only been wanting that from his woman. Like in my situation, I'm 100% obsessed with my wife. I adore her to death. One, it's disrespectful to do something like that. Two, I no longer need to do that because my wife fulfills me in every way. She fulfills me in my need for her feminine energy because I provide safety and security to her, which allows her to be in that. And then
Women are never truly happy. They crave attention, stability, and affection, yet still find something missing. Even when loved, they question, overthink, and demand more, turning peace into problems and fulfillment into dissatisfaction every single time.
Modern feminism has made women objectify men. It seems in this day and age that men are just extra. They're just an accessory, and you can just pick and choose whatever type of man you want. And they need to be perfect because, I want high quality accessories, so I want my man to be perfect. I don't need a man. I got my money, I got my house, so a man is extra. Why do I need a man? What does a man bring extra in my life? sadly, this is how a lot of women think about men in this day and age. If you're not strong, if you're not rich, if you're not 6 feet tall, sorry, you're out. And now it seems like the script's been flipped. Men are now being objectified, and we now need to address the objectification from men. In this video, I want to talk about why objectification of any of the sexes is not right. We're talking about human beings here. We're talking about people with feelings and emotions. A man or a woman should not be objectified. So if you're dating to look for the perfect man or the perfect woman, and they need to hit certain superficial standards, then you really need to look at yourself, because you are in the dating market for the wrong reasons. So there's a couple of issues that I want to address that have caused this problem in the first place. One, women are too selective and their standards are too high. Their standards are wonky, let's put it that way. As I mentioned in the start of the video, many women have their own finances in check. They got their own work, they got their own house, they got everything going for them. So honestly, why do they need a man? The man doesn't need to provide anymore. The man doesn't need to secure a home for them anymore. They can all do that themselves, thanks to modern day feminism, which is fantastic. The liberation of women is something that we should promote and celebrate. However, this comes with women now having men as extra and having exorbitantly, insanely long checklists of what men need to have and need to check off of the list that are completely unreasonable. And many women take these checklists to dates. And I am talking about women turning down men because he was wearing an odd pair of socks, or the man had a Velcro wallet. What are we talking about here? Are we not dating for connection to look for a partner who's a good partner? I mean, even I do it sometimes that I wake up late, I'm confused, I don't even know what year it is, and I pick odd socks. Does that make me a bad person? I don't think it does. It just makes me maybe a bit scatterbrained sometimes, and everyone has that sometimes. We're not perfect, and these are not qualifications or standards that you can reject a person for. If you reject a person for that reason, then you need to look at your values. And the result of this is that men feel that they need to be perfect in everything. They need to check a whole bunch of boxes to even make it to the first date. And if they don't, and if they're lucky to make it to that first date, and they wear that pair of odd socks, they're done. No second date. They feel failed like a man because another woman turned them down. But please realize, men and women, that many women turn down men on superficial, stupid reasons. And I want to make that very clear for you women. If you're looking for a good partner, a healthy partner who you can build a loving relationship with, it does not matter if he's wearing odd socks. This does not define a person. It doesn't define you as a person if your hair looks like crap. Does it? It doesn't. Yeah, you look a bit messed up, but it doesn't define who you are as a person. And if you think this is what defines a partner, or the socks that he wears, or if he has a Velcro wallet, you need to get off the dating market right now. The second problem is that many women are dating with superficial criteria. What I mean by that is, they look at a man's height. They look, again, if the man has a Velcro wallet. They look at things that a man cannot control or change. A man cannot just grow a couple of inches to fit your criteria. It's the same if a man would turn you down because your boobs are too small. That is really rude. If he does that, oh my God, the world's on fire. He's toxic. But you do turn him down because he's too short. And women have more of these criteria like financial status, social status. And often this dominates the dating preferences of women. Let's go back on financial status. So you are earning pretty good for yourself, probably as a woman in the West, and you expect a man to out-earn you by a lot. That narrows your dating pool a lot. And there's a lot of good guys who may earn less than you, who are fantastic husbands, who are fantastic partners, and you're ruling all of them out because you want a man to earn more than you, or you want a man to be a certain height, or you want a man to not wear odd socks.
Women don't need no man. We have been told this for decades. You forgot they also expect their man to be a mind reader, as well as liking only who she likes and how she wants him to like them. He's not supposed to have a life of his own that doesn't revolve around her needs or wants.
There was a study done in the 90s, and what they found out, I think, still holds true today. So what they did is they took a group of men and they took a group of women and they categorized these men. So it was like high status, t-shirt, McDonald's. Same thing with the women. High status, t-shirt, McDonald's. And then they asked, the men, okay, would you go to coffee with this person, go on a date, marry? And in all three categories, the guy didn't care. It's like, yes, sure, whatever. With women, it was a whole different story. Women went to the high status man for the majority of them. So that was for coffee, date, marriage. My takeaway on this is just goes along with the trends I've been seeing. So we are in this Kardashian culture and have been for, 10 years. I don't know how long they've been on. But this idea of perfection has just been kind of unseen before. I mean, before we had magazines, we knew they were kind of airbrushed, but what we see now, women are doing eyebrows, microblading, dermaplaning, eyelash extensions, hair extensions, lip fillers, cheek fillers, breast implants, butt implants, fat transfer, taking ribs out. I mean, literally women are taking their ribs out. So I think just the pressure and the unattainable beauty that they put on themselves, they're also putting that sort of unattainable image and desire on a guy as well. And that's why these guys are backing out, because guys know, that's crazy. We can't do all that. Some can. I mean, it's the small minority can do that. But for the majority of men, they're not going to be able to get to your high standards that you not only put on yourself, but you're putting on these men too. And I don't even know if women are aware that they're doing that. And if you think about it, it's really a beautiful thing that men will just kind of take you as you are. They don't need you to be high status, or they don't care where you work. If you work at McDonald's or you're making six figures and some executive of a company. But look at what we're doing to men. We want them to just be everything. It's unattainable. They're getting out of the market, and rightfully so. So I even asked my brother about this.
Standards have become so unattainable. The dating world doesn't need to be this restrictive.
Explain the reasons why men tend to mentally check out of a relationship before actually leaving the woman.
Why y'all stay there?
Why don't y'all leave? Why don't y'all speak up?
Well, let's not act like women aren't the champions of mentally checking out. I think women underestimate how, it's not easy for a man, the average man, to just get a relationship that they want.
Okay.
See, women a lot of times sometimes have other options, all right? Or at least they believe they do. They either have it or they believe they have it. So for them, you know what I'm saying? They can just walk away. For that man, it's like, what am I going to do after this? And it's a lot harder to make stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? Y'all literally, I always use the analogy a woman could walk in the bar tomorrow and say, I'm here for sex. She's gonna have a line of men right there.
So, Stefan, you don't think that men have a lot of options as well?
The average
Are
man
you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Why y'all feel like that?
I feel like that's facts.
Okay, a man with money. A man with money.
Even the man with money thing is so misunderstood.
Okay.
Because there are tons of men with money who still can't get a woman.
Really?
Because, especially if we're talking cities like Atlanta, Miami, LA.
We do speak up, but most women don't listen to us.
The message to young men right now, where they are checking out of the dating pool, the message is very consistent. Young men, get your house in order, make yourself valuable, make yourself desirable so you can select the right kind of woman for you. Young men are less obese, they're less depressed, they're more independent, and women still blame young men? Let me tell you, can anyone out there name me one fat pride male model? One who's making millions. Hey, can anyone name me an equivalent to OnlyFans for young men? I've read numbers as high as 25% of young women have an OnlyFans or have considered it. Look, You cannot continue to blame men while women are being told that they are beautiful at any size, that they can have an abortion at any time, that all of their decisions are valid and none are valid for men. To the point now where we've invalidated young men's decisions to not engage. I would argue young men have far fewer prospects when they're looking at good women in their generation than women do. Society says man at fault, woman beautiful at any size, brave no matter what you do, all choices are as valid as the next choice. Men, these are your duties. What can we expect of women? Oh, why are you trying to control me? Okay, then enjoy 60% of women being single and unmarried by the year 2035, I think is the stat that I heard.
The values are just completely split between genders.
Millennial and like Gen Z men, like men in our age groups, they're twice as likely as women to say that they're not dating, they're not having sex, they're not even trying to because they feel like nobody would want to. Which is like crazy that they're so self-aware to know that. But like, no. But like in all seriousness, like I think there's a real challenge with young men. And I think it's like, it might not even be about them. Like it might not even be about the woman in their life. It's like the same thing where I'm sure you've had experiences like yourself as well. You're feeling so shit about yourself, then how are you supposed to like give love to other people? Or when you're thinking like, oh, well, why bother investing in like even buying somebody something nice for a first date because it always goes shit. And I was really shocked when I read that because I was like, maybe there's something like deeper happening. I don't know.
Look, you can't treat future partners based off past experience. That's not fair to the future people. And like we've all had bad relationships. We've all been, fucking sewered in the past. We've all had bad things happen to us in relationships and in love. You cannot carry that forward. I think that's part of the breakup where when you break up after a shitty breakup or a shitty relationship, you need to heal. Because if you bring that trauma forward, you're not doing anybody like anything good. I've done it. I've done that in the past where I've brought in previous relationships into current ones and I've hurt people. And it's like, I'm not saying these people I hurt were fucking innocent by any means, but did they deserve what I did to them? Absolutely not. And I did it to them just because I was carrying previous pain forward.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, after a breakup, take time to heal.
Dating as a man is just low priority. Period.
So why have men checked out of dating nowadays? I get comments like this a lot, so I'm going to give you the most common reasons that I've heard after coaching thousands of men, and these are not necessarily my opinions. One of the most common reasons that I hear is that divorce court is disparately against men, and most likely the men are going to lose their children in the event of a divorce. The second piece is that statistically dating apps are much harder for men, so if you're a man who's not successful on dating apps, you're now missing out on one of the biggest pieces of ways to meet people in today's day and age. The third one, and the one that gets everybody all fired up, is everyone's modern iteration of what feminism should be and the imbalance of masculinity and femininity, traditional versus, modern relationships, whatever you want to call it. And the fourth and the most common reason is people have been hurt in the past. When you've been hurt in the past, you start to apply all of these arbitrary rules to the opposite sex and assume that they're going to hurt you or that they are all the same.
Better question. Why would men want to get married, given all these reasons? Men are tired of being used, played, discarded, neglected, and taken for granted. Most of us just want peace, and that's hard to find in relationships.
Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.